All right, welcome back to Beyond Bourbon. So today we have another review.
Yep.
It's another Monday review. We're excited for this one. So this is from Quest Inn Whiskey. So we have a sample that you can kind of see here. The sheet of paper that came with it, which I will tell you a story with.
Yeah.
So Quest Inn Whiskey, Paladin. This is their first release. So we connected with them on Instagram and then through some email. So they sent us the sample. They did not pay us or anything. This is our honest review still.
Yeah.
But they did provide the sample. So we just wanted to be upfront with you guys and kind of just explain what this is. Like it's not, we're not going to buy the bottle, but this is also a real sample, I promise.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is from them. So we want to thank them as well.
Thank you so much.
We're very appreciative of this, and we kind of look forward to doing this for your future releases or whatever that looks
Yeah,
like too.
absolutely.
I think I'm very excited for this.
Me too.
You're excited.
I'm really excited.
I think that's kind of new in the industry, so like it's a cool story. Okay, so Quest Inn is owned by Fine Familiar Spirits. Yeah, you can pour a lot. And so Fine Familiar wants to do fandom bottles, is my understanding. And then Quest Inn is the first iteration of that. So this is a Dungeons & Dragons bottle. So this Quest Inn is their first series. So they're gonna do 16 of these, each with a different character, different story, whatever. So when you
D&D characters, correct?
Like,
or just characters in the same world?
character types, I guess, because this is Paladin, and then I think
my
understanding is they'll do a wizard or whatever it looks like. Yeah,
sure. Okay.
So we're very excited for this. Matthew Lillard is one of the owners.
Yes.
Big fan of him, Scooby-Doo, and Scream.
Scooby-Doo, Scream, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
He's the voice of Shaggy throughout since he filmed
Oh my gosh.
Like he was in the live action ones, but after that he was the voice.
I didn't even think I knew that.
Yeah.
He is Shaggy.
He is Shaggy. He looks and sounds like him.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
So Paladin is the first series. So it's 100 proof. When you buy the bottle, it's $150, which is pretty expensive retail, but I mean, I think we'll tell you if that's worth it or not. 100 proof, and then blended between Kentucky and Indiana. When you get it, you get like a full, I think that I was watching a review online before this, it's like 16-page book.
Oh,
And
wow.
So
it's an actual chapter of a book.
Yeah, Dawn of the Unbound Gods, Volume 1. So it's included with what they call the saga.
Okay.
And so it has, they have art from a fantasy artist and all this stuff. So
That's sick.
they're selling an experience along with.
So
the
yeah,
bottle.
I think $50 of that is just the experience alone.
Yeah, I
the
would
bottle's
pay that.
super sick. I love the picture of the bottle. That's a pretty cool shaped bottle. It's almost like a book from the side when they.
And on the side, there's also HP markers.
Yes.
So, which is so cool.
Which is super cool.
Yeah.
So it looks like a video game, book, board game. It's kind of the whole same vibe.
Yeah. So I think for a lot of fandoms, neither of us are into D&D, but I think this is really cool. Off the
I think
bat.
it's sick. I've played some RPG games,
Yeah.
video games or whatever, and Paladin, characters like that. I can understand choose your own story kind of thing. I'm excited to see where this eventually
Yeah, for
goes.
sure. So the first series was 5,000 bottles. It just says that here. And they already sold out of that. So now they're on a Paladin Plus One, and that's not even shipping until spring of 2024. I was on the website today. So I guess their bottles are special bottles and stuff, they can't just get it out quickly.
Sure.
So you can buy that now again for $150, and then they'll get that to you in the spring. So to be that successful already, 5,000 bottles sold, and moving on to that next one.
That's super successful.
Yeah.
And they already said they're into 16 chapters?
I think that's what the review online said. I don't know if that came directly from them.
So don't quote us on that.
Yeah, asterisk on that.
But if so, I mean, they're in for a long line of success.
They are.
And just to see where this grows, this is their first try at it. They might make double the amount of bottles next time.
For sure.
Things like that.
So I'll read you what goes along with this. So introducing the first chapter in the series, Paladin, of limited edition super premium whiskeys for discerning adventurer. So the experience. Quest Inn is a top-notch whiskey and a brand new fantasy saga all in one. Delivered direct to consumer in collectible limited releases starting in fall of 2023. Each release of Quest Inn will be limited, numbered, and named after a character, weapon, or location. So I guess any not just characters.
Okay, that's cool.
In a larger serialized story, with the flavor profile of that release inspired by its role in the story. That's really interesting.
That's cool.
Okay, so tasting notes of this one, we'll see how true this is. Notes of vanilla and fruit, most bourbon. Keeping with the noble aims of Paladin with an undercurrent of spice to reflect her fighting spirit. So, man, that's going to be interesting to see how they go about other characters. I wonder why they're going to pair. Here I can understand, classic with a little spice because it's like a classic character with a little spice.
Classic character.
But like,
with
I
a
wonder
spice.
where you go from here. Like, if it's a what location? Is earthy? I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I think, like, again, this is a base level character. I'm assuming Paladin's like a knight, like your low class level character in a game. Nothing crazy, no magic, nothing like that. But this is kind of a basic bourbon, I'm assuming. But I'm assuming as we go on,
could get a little more.
get a little magical, right?
Yeah.
So
I got the shipment, and the shipper was soaking wet. It hadn't really been raining, and it was just under my porch, so it shouldn't have been wet anyways. So I was a little worried. And I guess the truck was soaking wet and something else is spilled in there. Because I first saw it, I was like, dude, our sample is broken.
it wasn't wet, like water wet. It was like some other liquid wet.
Yeah, I was like, God, this is going to be really unfortunate that we're just going to miss out on a sample. Because we were both super excited when we got the email. Like, this is like a first for us. So again, thank you, Questin.
This is staying on the shelf forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that is something I'll never forget. Maybe we'll get all 16 up here.
That'd be very cool. Actually, take up the whole front shelf.
It would. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm very excited for this. Let's go for a little nose.
Yeah.
It smells pretty good.
Classic, just classic, like the character. You know
I
what
do
mean?
get some fruit on that. Like, it's a very fruit cocktail.
I get fruits. I get sweet.
Definitely some fruit cocktail. Caramel.
A little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Chocolate dipped strawberries. A little bit of funk deep down for me.
A little funkiness to it.
Yeah, like the further I get down, like I have to really search for it, but it's kind of got some.
It smells a little lighter than 100 proof. I'm thinking like 90s off the nose. I know it's not, but it smells like it.
Cheers. Questin, thank you. Ooh.
Nice.
Spice in the back.
Yeah.
Wow.
I appreciate that. That has a very satisfying experience.
Yeah, that's the best way to say it.
I actually do get the vanilla a little bit, but it's not the first thing I would say. I get the vanilla they're saying, but it's not the first thing I would.
This might be the first tasting notes where I'm like, you might have described that perfectly.
Yeah, it is vanilla on the back of the palate for sure. Just like the finish is vanilla as well.
Nose, under 100 proof. Palate, over 100 proof for me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That took me by surprise.
Yeah, it did. And I think it's because I was caught off guard by it. That is very good, though.
Yeah.
Very pleasantly surprised by it.
Very good. I can't keep going back to it because I'm limited amount.
I think I'm more excited to see where the story goes from here.
I know. I would eventually like to read the full story when it comes out. Telling a story through bourbon is just something I don't think anybody's done before.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I
to
think
this
it's very
extent,
different.
at least.
Yeah.
So
I think we both also love like fantasy stuff, like Lord of the Rings, like whatever, like Hobbit, like all that, the whole fantasy
Game
world,
of Thrones.
Yeah, whatever it is. I think we both enjoy a lot, and so this might not be the exact fandom we're a part of, but like we can still appreciate it.
100%.
A step away.
I love very niche things.
Yeah.
I don't like when people are trying to be so broad and trying to appeal to everyone, and they just kind of get lost. They know what they're going for, I think, at Questin. I think they know exactly who their target market is. Mm-hmm. I think the people that like these fandoms can appreciate this product. They're going to want to read the story and relate that to their own experience in the games or books or TV shows. So I'm impressed. And the whiskey's good too.
Yeah, I mean, that was better the second time I went back. That one, I think my palate was a little more adjusted to it.
Yeah, me too. I get that rye.
It's very different. I don't know where the sourcing is.
Did you say the mash?
I think we've learned as we've gone through this, and a lot of bottles we have up here are sourced. It really depends on blending more than anything.
Yeah, I used to think like sourcing a product is inferior.
Yeah.
I used to think, well, they're just,
they're taking a shortcut.
They're taking a shortcut, exactly. I was like, I'm going to get this stuff straight from the source.
Yeah.
A lot of times, especially new companies, their own distillate isn't good.
No.
Or it's not as good as you wish it was.
Castle Key.
Castle and Key, Bardstown,
yeah,
just to name a few. But when they source it, like, Bardstown might be the best sourcing company out there. They've made their whole name and market off of just sourcing whiskey. So.
Yeah. I don't think you have to be a distillery anymore to be... Number one example, Old Carter. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the perfect example of blending matters more than anything else. More.
I would prefer to be a blender than a distiller, too.
1,000%. Because I like the end product is what...
Yeah.
The distiller, you kind of have a finger in the end product, but not like...
Yeah, what happens in the barrel is what happens. You put whatever in there, and that's it. Like I can taste the barrel every day and like, oh, this is better.
If you're a master distiller, we're not discounting your work. We're just saying master blenders need a little.
I just think it'd be more fun for me to be a master blender. Not that they're both equally important.
Out of 50, I'm gonna go pretty high here, honestly.
I don't know if it's $150 worth, but it's definitely up there.
Here's the thing. I think if we would have got the full story, we're getting the book, like you said.
No.
You're not just paying for the bottle. You're not just paying. Okay, take that back. You're not just paying for the liquid.
Whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. Because the bottle is super dope. Like that is a part of the story.
Getting all 16 or however many you guys do on a shelf together would genuinely be the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that is a middle of the shelf thing I'm putting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So very, very cool. And then the story behind it. I mean, like Jared said, I would be excited to see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
I'd like to if the final, whenever you final release, it's the full book together or something.
The artwork, cool. And just like the whole experience.
Yeah. So thank you again. I'm gonna give this though 42.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 41.
Okay.
It is.
That's very good. 83. That if you're watching for the first time, you're just looking up Question, like that might not seem a lot, but that's pretty high up there for our stuff.
Yeah, for sure. We each 2 out of 50, add it together, get a score of 100. So, 83 out of 100. That's really pretty good.
I mean, for a first product from a company, that's really good. Like, expectations were a little low. I was like, $150 seems like a lot for what you're going to sell. You're probably just, like, the whiskey doesn't really matter. It's really, like, you're pitching the story. They put just as much time in the story as they did the whiskey. I think that's evident here.
I think the people that bought all 500 bottles of what it is, are going to, in 5,000 bottles, are going to enjoy it. Yeah. And they're going to want to come back for more. So I think that is exactly what you wanted.
And that's already seeing it.
And there's room for growth.
Yeah, there is.
So we didn't give it 100.
No.
So there is room for growth.
And I'm very excited to see next character, location, chapter, whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to be actively looking for on their page. And be like, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
What's next? You know what I mean? Like, is it a mage? Is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see what that is because it's just interesting.
It really is.
And then I'll be thinking, okay, this is the character, this location. Now, what would the bourbon taste like? Yeah. What would the whiskey taste like? Is it going to be higher proof? Is it going to be a different mash bill? You know what I mean?
It's a thought that I've never had about anything else. I've never thought about thinking of a title and matching, or a word even, and matching that with a whiskey. Yeah, but it's a cool concept.
It's cool, and I think they nailed it here.
Yeah, I think
this is just classic, basic
with a little
bourbon with a little bit of just spice, a little kick to it. So
thank you guys. Let us know what you guys think about Questin, the story, about the whole company. If you've not heard about it, please go look at it.
Go check it out.
Maybe even buy a bottle.
I'm tempted.
If it's very tempting to go buy a $150 bottle right now. That's crazy to say, but
I can actually say there's a lot of value in that $150.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so thank you guys, and we will see you hopefully for the next chapter.
Yep. Shout out Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, so thank you, Questin, for the sample again.
Thank you,
guys.
We
really appreciate your guys' support of the channel. Have a great day.